And if you can say in the post about...
Yeah, I've mentioned that it's our first birthday.
Alright, cool. Also, if you can mention that I will explain my absence.
Oh, sure, if you would grab your snack. Nah, it's fine, honey. You can just explain it.
Alright. Well, we'll make sure that everything is running, so it should be running right now. Does look like it's running. You want to check?
We got a refresher like a million times.
Alright.
Before
It's always like this every time we start up. It's
just some sort of a delay with that.
It's like, oh, you guys are live. Ha. Trick shot.
Okay, there she is.
Alright, fantastic.
And
now that we've done that, how about we do the thing? You ready to do the thing?
Okay. Wait, just give it a second to post so that we can actually do the thing.
Alright.
Alright, we're ready.
Alright. So good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to the Weekly WAYPN.
First birthday!
I'm Cal.
And I'm Sunny.
aka
Henry and Sangita.
I hope you like the little cover we've got for this. You know, if we were really cute, we'd figure out a way to animate this, but we don't have a budget.
Ain't nobody got no time.
So, we're starting off with James.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, James, what have you got for us? Alright, he's finally done up. So he's fully done up. He's got the green on. He's done up all of the little details. He's got plenty of green. I think the first thing that I note is the differences of green of the head that he's holding and that.
And the money.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I think is nice good contrast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it would just look a little off.
I do like that everything is very readable. I think previously when Connor was on and you had an absence.
Yes. So I should also explain my absence. So you get that one, James. Please enjoy. So I had a minor surgery this week, and I'm fine. It's just I felt a little off after that, and a little.
But
what have you done? I
have to click the live if I want to comment on it.
I see.
Yes,
you failed us all.
I forgot to
for the final time.
Yes. So please continue your story. Minor surgery.
Oh yes, so I had a little minor surgery, and I was a little off before and after. So yeah, that's why I haven't been posting as regularly, and why I haven't been doing as many things. But we have done many recordings.
Yes. Which was good. I did one video.
Yes, but that's the members video. But
so if you're a member, you can check it out now on our channel. But yes, as mentioned in the previous weekly WAYPN with guest Connor, we actually talked about how it seemed a bit incomplete because I think some of the satchels, his pockets, and the blade was not painted up yet. So after seeing everything come together, now it's like everything's very readable and it looks really good. I really like, I'm not sure if you did this, but I think you put an overall wash over the money, and that really helped to bring out all those defined edges of each of those rectangular blocks, which I think is excellent. Or it could just be the Zenithal Prime. I'm not sure if you did do a Zenithal Prime, though, but yes.
But yeah, I would say A+. I like
A+ tabletop.
Well, yeah, no, I'd say this is character level.
Well, I think if it were character level, I would say he could push himself a bit more with the highlighting with the reds and the blacks, and even the blade itself.
Okay, all right, I'll give you that one.
So but I will say that,
to be fair, he does have a million guys that do.
True, but he is doing them to a particular quality on purpose as well.
That's true. Let's call it tabletop plus.
And I think we can clearly see how much he's improving with each.
Yes, that's true.
This project is really pushing him to do more, and I really like seeing his progress.
All right, so yes, last week I was sick and I wasn't doing that well, and yeah, so I think that sort of carried over.
The tum-tum sickness.
Yes, that's one way of putting it. But let's move on to Joseph Milan.
Just a Milan.
You want to read
dwarf here. Look at this madness I have to paint. It's huge. Must be 200 plus people on this thing. It's not a sculpture. It's real, fleshy people. It could take forever to paint, right? Paint pots for scale. It's bigger than my fist.
Interesting.
I'm very sure it is larger than the
We've
fist.
actually got this in our Kickstarter stuff, but we are so behind on doing everything because we are trying to put out...
Is this part of the gambler's chest?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine having to paint this thing. Well, I mean, we could go for like a tabletop quality with this particular one.
We could, but I think we'll burn that bridge when we get there. All right. Next up, we have...
Ooh.
Now you know
Larry
how to...
Hathenflew. I like saying the name. It's fun.
Yeah, I tell you what, the aliens have come up quite nicely. Now, I do know that they come pre-painted, but I think the way that he's doing them up is coming along quite nicely.
He seems to have added some more update pictures in the comment section, and it looks like he's used some effects paint to create like a color shift. And I have to say, the one at the very bottom, which is the queen, really looks good. With
you're talking about
blue and purple undertone. It's meant to be like this sleek, oil slick black, right? When you see it in the movies, and I feel this really captures that.
Yeah, no.
Excellent work.
I think that's Jason Tate's, though. Yes, it is. That one's Jason Tate's. Go down, take a look.
Well, sorry, just because the thing decided that it would... I meant to press the X, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. Because it decided... No.
It's betrayed you once again.
Once again, it has betrayed me.
Well,
I'll just take a look from your side. Could you show me which one you're talking about?
That one's Jason Tate.
Oh, that's Jason Tate. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. My eyeballs betrayed me. I'm sorry. Wrong praise to the wrong person.
Yes, the non-glasses hoe.
I am wearing glasses.
I know. It just seems that way. But yeah, I think like the ribbings come up quite nicely. But I do think, like, because he's used very matte paints with it, I think it needs a gloss coat just because of what they are, so to speak.
Yeah, I agree.
Like,
it just needs that, like, jet... well, okay, maybe it's not available to you. Jet black from SMS.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, now that he's got all of the ribbing and all of that sort of thing, like... I'd say a light gloss coat, maybe even a satin. Yeah.
Right, okay, cool beans.
All right, and next up, we've got you.
Oh, is it me? Is it me?
It's me. All right, so you got to read this one out.
I got to read.
As per the rules.
Been struggling to get in some proper time for hobby this week. It's been sporadic. I've got 4 guys to finish off to complete my Stargrave Warband. Here's some whips as I enjoy. Some outdoor veranda hobby time. Hopefully, I get them all done up before tomorrow's game.
Yeah, and I think they ended up looking great, but we're going to move on from this because this one isn't finished, and we do have the finished
I would
here.
like to point out one thing, the comment that was received on the little bits from Forge Couture.
Oh yeah, where he's
just like, that's what I saw looking at that, and I think it's a book cover, Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. And
yes.
I'm like,
Yeah, I know. I love that in this community we just have little jokes with one another. Speaking of little jokes with one another, let us see what the comments say.
Oh yes, these xenomorphs are amazing, but I agree, needs gloss.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
It's ironic because you'll almost never hear that out of anyone's, like someone saying, you know what, this
needs
model
more gloss.
Yeah, you'd just be like, Yes, well, it appears it appears that the grass is indeed wacky over there.
Next we have Forge Couture himself.
Yes, we do.
And he says, something I have had I've had for years. Time to paint it up for my army case badge. Nice. And he does the painted version. further up. He
Yeah,
just
I do.
posted a
I
post.
have seen that, but I'm just taking a look at the Terminators. And you know what I do like? Just seeing stuff like this. Like, seeing the various
The process, yeah.
Yeah, because I know that it doesn't sound like a lot. But just imagine you're starting out, right? And you see, like, some amazing paint job, right? And then the very next thing you see, some guy just gluing stuff together, and you're like...
And you're like...
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, you can do that. And I think he's done a Zenithal Prime with the browns. Sorry about that. I'll just make muting. Yes, and Zenithal Brown Prime, which I was actually quite pleasantly surprised to see because that's something we have been doing recently with the brown Zenithals. Keen to see what happens.
Yes.
And yes, and this little dragon Saurus, right? Saurus.
It's a salamander.
Oh, it's a salamander?
Yes, for the salamanders.
Oh, I see.
It's a salamander badge.
I got it incorrect.
Incorrect.
It was not a Saurus. Anywho, I grew up around the alien film anthology, so seeing them without slime or gloss makes me scream, do it!
Do it!
Do
Do
it!
it! Do it! Do it!
Next we have someone else.
Yep, alright, so we will next up... Oh, and unfortunately this one didn't do that well. The Design versus Law Lancer, but we really hope you guys check it out because it's not 40k. And you guys might be able to see something completely different. Like,
yeah, and
what was it that Fire Magnet said?
Fire Magnet said it was like, oh, now I know what it feels like to be someone who watches your videos who doesn't who doesn't know anything about Warhammer 40k. And it feels like two archaeologists talking about the artifacts, but they have an actual time traveler with them who is there to tell them if it was real, if they got it right or not. And I thought to myself, what an oddly specific example. And then I made a little joke about it, and it's like, WAYPN archaeologists, this jug looks to be something that could have been used for wine. Time traveler, it's a pee jug. I thought, and Connor actually made that joke, and I thought I would
steal it.
Steal it. Yeah.
All right. You want to move on next to our
what's it?
Willa Walla Bing Bang.
Oh my god, isn't that from Lazy Town?
Bing
bang, digga digga dong.
No,
it goes.
What is it goes? Ooh ee ooh ah walla walla bing bang. Ooh ee ooh ah.
Oh my gosh, I have to go and listen to it.
It's not from Lazy Town. That is a very old song. Anyway, read out Andy before he's like, why
are you
the
gonna
fuck
get to me or not? And he said, finished up Colossus from Marvel Crisis Protocol. Still not the best at non-metallic metal, but I think it is at least passable, and it's done so. And it's done. So, we'll take that as a win for now.
Well, I actually think he's done pretty well with the non-metallic metal. I think he's done better than I have with non-metallic metal steels. Because, steel
seems very difficult to...
Yeah, steel seems harder, and I think the main reason is because we interact with it more.
I think I understand why.
Why?
When I
Also, you got to tell people that you're putting your hand up.
I put my finger up. Teacher, can I speak, teacher?
Yes.
Okay. I think because steel is more, reflects more colors of the environment.
Oh, yeah, it's a more true reflection.
Yeah, it's a more true reflection. As compared to, like, gold, it's just reflecting the browns.
Light. Yeah, it's reflecting the light itself.
So it is easier and less tones to work with, and you don't have to have that many things to make it work as compared with the metal.
Yeah, so I think, like, he could do some more highlights within. Like... He could push even further into the brightness.
I get it, yeah.
Like, for example, right here, I think he's done really, really well.
The bicep right there, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think just at the thigh, just at the very, like, the inner thigh on the
right
leg. Yep.
Yep, right here.
And the very top of the thigh here on the other leg.
I think Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You're saying the first segment of the
first,
yeah, yeah.
the
Okay,
first
okay.
and the second maybe, and then right alongside here, honey. What is this side called? I don't know.
Are you
This
talking
area,
about the torso?
the torso, just along here, and then a bit of the bicep on this particular muscle.
Well, no. So I think he's done really well on this bicep here, right?
Yes.
But I think he could really push the whites there. But like, I wouldn't go into it that much if it wasn't Andy, because like Andy can paint really well, and I think he does really great stuff. But yeah, so like, there's certainly nothing wrong with it.
With what he's got, it's a really good job.
Yeah, no, I would say, top tier character level, but not quite showcase. But yeah, it's
definitely
not
good.
It's not that far off if he just pushed a little more.
No.
But let us move on. And also, do you want to say anything about what Metroid said?
Ooh, aha, ting tang walla walla bing bang.
Yes.
There we go.
I'm glad that there's somebody joining in with us, because most people must just be like, I don't know.
Well, it is our WAYPN birthday, so it's good to have at least
birthday.
At least somebody join on the chat, makes us happy.
Yes.
And we have Joseph. My plan for the day was to use the airbrush to base the flesh on the croc, and then prime everything, then go play Kingdom Death. I got caught up in painting and accidentally finished the Crimson Crocodile one sitting. Woo!
Yeah, no, I think it's looking really good, but it's such an odd thing.
I feel like I've seen this creature before.
I think I've shown it to you.
It feels like how you would have the dragon that is portrayed in some of the older medieval portraits.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. It does
familiar.
kind of feel like that. It does kind of feel like medieval portrait kind of dude guy.
But I will say one thing.
What?
For a Crimson Croc, he's very
pink.
Fleshy. Yeah, pink.
But like, I think if I'm gonna do this one, I think what I'm gonna try and do is steal some of the ideas of the Gorm. So you know how lots of people draw, because it's got very smooth surfaces and such, right, with the Gorm. I think what I will do is do that same thing with the drawn veins and that sort of thing, and then do the transparency. But I think this looks really good.
He actually looks like a toy with the way that the seam goes down the middle.
Yeah.
Like a stuffed animal.
Well, he certainly doesn't look like a stuffed animal, that's for sure. But I do really think it looks quite good. But it's so bizarre because, like, it's got this jaw, and it looks like this jaw can unhinge because of...
It just open even more at the back.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I don't even know how the mechanics of that would work. But what we are going to do is...
Ignore it.
Yeah.
And go out.
We're going to say he's done a really good job. I think a fantastic job. And we're going to move on before the madness consumes our mind.
Yes.
Alright, so next up we have...
Calvinoni with mutant porkers.
So they're made of pork, and they're mutants. Oh,
not very
look at
delicious, unfortunately.
Yes, they do not look very delicious, but there's some great color contrast here.
A bit disappointed.
I like it. Look at.
I would like there to be more BBQ sauce on it. Just saying. It's not very appetizing, and I would prefer if you glazed with a little honey glaze on top. Just get a little something. I don't know, Cal. I feel you could do better.
Well, I've left my comment in the chat.
But yeah, great color contrast.
Excellent color contrast.
With that, I don't want to click on the picture because it has failed me many times.
Well,
but
for me, when I look at it, right, I think this side is probably the best for it, right? So it's brown with green undertones and pinkish red.
Yeah, I can see those colors, yeah.
So what we're dealing with is a lot more neutrals, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got some straight neutrals here with the
gray.
Yeah, so despite the fact that it's almost all neutrals, like there's such contrast with everything.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's fantastic. I think this is one of Cal's best things. And I think this creature is being very well suited to his painting style.
Next time, please consider a bit of BBQ sauce.
Oh, shut up, woman! Shut up!
It will make
You
it
you
delicious.
will you will make me break terms of service.
Break terms of service.
All right, quickly on to the next thing.
We've got Old Man Cass.
Old Man Cass.
Old Man Cass, who's not really an old man. We'll just say it's that.
All right, can you read? Can you focus?
Have had absolute zero time to finish our project due to work and daughter being sick. However, we managed to finish our first model.
It's a Von Ryan's Leaper.
I thought it was just a Tyrannid.
Yes, that's what this type of Tyrannid is called.
I see. A bit too epic for its nature.
What?
I don't want it to be called Von Ryan something something. Because it doesn't match the Tyrannid theme.
How does it not match the Tyrannid
You
theme?
should call it Hive Tyrant Neuro something something.
I see I'm being tested.
Well, I like the choice of color scheme with the sort of different shades of magenta and a nice desaturated, could you call it royal purple? No, just straight purple, I guess, but it is on the more desaturated side. And then it brings the attention to the face by bringing a very bright green to the eye.
So I think like most of the colors are all really good. So I think the fact that this is his and his daughter's first model in a long time, I think that's really good. When it comes to some of it, I'm taking a look, and it does feel as if that there could be a little more done in some areas. For example, right along here, this could be done up in the purple where the carapace is, right?
Yeah.
So just small things like that. And the other thing is, I feel that the feet down here, done in the red, could perhaps be done in the purple or done in a completely different color. For example, a matte black.
I feel like, for me, I think that the lighter magenta color, which is on the flesh, could have been pushed way more desaturated and pale. And I think that would create more contrast.
I can see what you're saying, but it is an analogous color scheme. I mean, it works. And, like, the thing is, that's the only thing that really catches it out for me, just the foot. Because, like, the foot feels fleshy that way.
Yeah, okay.
And,
when it's a hoof.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But, like, I think that it's looking really good. It's a very interesting little creature. I think one of the big things is once you base it up, that will change the look of it a lot.
Yeah.
All right, let us move on. And next up, we have even more of an old man.
Old Man Cass has more to say. Faces still aren't my thing, but I'm happy to say we now have completed a Death Watch Marine. Only another 9 to go. So what is Death Watch anyway?
Death Watch are the people who specifically go after the aliens. So when it comes to this guy, I think that there's two things. Yeah, I do think the face needs more work, right? And I think you just got to push yourself on that. Just put a bit of black in that area there. And when it comes to these bits of power cabling, I think with that blue you've got there, maybe touch it up with some other colors. And here's a bit of trivia for you. Cass was the person I originally played 40k with, and he used to paint much better than I did.
Oh.
So it's interesting, you know, having the turnaround.
The student surpasses the master.
Why do you do it like this? Why do you say these things in this way?
Something.
Why does she test me, chat? Why does she test me?
I do think that's something that's unfortunately sort of a bit, I guess, off-putting to my eye. Is the green of the sword. I can tell that he wants to go for a OSL. Well, not necessarily OSL.
Well,
like a glowing effect.
I'll hit you with this bit of trivia. This is meant to actually be a Necron sword.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. And I feel like it could be a bit more pushed in saturation. or the Necron sword. I feel it just feels a bit.
Yeah, no, I'm picking up what you're saying.
But yeah, other than that.
Why did Sunny sound like Minetta from My Hero Academia?
Oh, Minetta!
Oh no!
I can make joke.
You're a great boy. Which joke?
The one that I usually make.
About sticky balls?
Yeah.
No, you can't. We're moving on.
I made a good poop today.
No!
My balls are extra sticky. Onward!
I see that somebody's trying to push me out of the studio.
Onward to yourself.
Indeed. And it looks like
he's done a bit more on him.
Yeah, it looks like he's just...
What are you looking at? Oh,
he looks like a happy dog.
Oh my god, he does look exactly like... I think that dog's name's Riley or something from another YouTuber, and then they just made that into a meme. That dog, I know that dog.
Well, anyway, I do think it's looking a lot better now that it's on its base.
He looks just like the dog.
Yeah, I think being on the base has helped a great deal. I think he's also done a few highlights with the tail. It kind of feels like an evil axolotl.
Oh, yeah, I guess it does feel a bit like an axolotl. But an axolotl has a bit more sort of saturated pinks with him as well.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Oh, look, the flesh ball
ball
is being more fleshed.
More fleshed out, but
Alright, so it appears that he is also working on other projects at the same time.
What is he?
Atlas?
Atlas. Red is done, and I'm basing his fur trim. 5-part parasitic jellyfish to follow later. Interesting.
Yes.
Alright,
we will continue taking a bit of a look. Oh, it looks like the adventure is over. Oh,
it is gone.
I was getting
excited.
Yes. So next up we have...
Oh, we have Forge once again.
Forge Kotohan.
Actually, how do you say it?
Kotohan.
Kotohan?
Yeah.
Kotohan?
Yeah.
Badge done for my army case, and I think it's looking nice.
I really want the saturation pushed on this. It's like very desaturated orange.
Are you sure? Because I feel like that's just a picture. Like on my computer, it looks like a nice sort of red, orange red. A dry brush, perhaps, of another sort of layer of a vibrant orange yellow.
And also the horns need to be done.
The horns do need to be done. With the bone color, yes, bone color.
Yes, bone color.
Right.
And some wash on his teeth. They're very bright.
He's got too good of dental care, Forge.
Yes.
You must decay it a bit.
Yeah, well, just some Seraphim Sapia or some
that,
Skeleton Horde contrast. It's alright. I've got fruity dyslexia today.
Fruity!
But, yes, okay. Alright. Let us move on. Next up.
Larry Hassenflew. Working on a techno-archaeologist, because who doesn't like a good archaeologist? My freehand is crummy, so I have lots to fix on the crenellated pattern of the robe, but I got a pretty nice straight edge at the bottom using masking tape.
Yeah.
Yep. Some of the fixes will probably involve weathering and battle damage to hide it when I get to shading the robe. Did the leather bits with a thinned black Templar over the red base, which gives it a bit of a red tinge to it, so that I really like.
Yeah.
Especially since the reddish highlights make it look like really deep red leather, even if the picture doesn't do it justice.
No, I think it's looking pretty good, and I do think that your crenellations are looking very decent for somebody who's giving themselves a very hard time with freehand. Freehand is very difficult. Though Sunny makes it look simple, I think most miniature artists have a lot of problem with freehand. I think the reason that they have such problems with freehand is because essentially they have none of that training. But now we will go to the real important people.
Yes.
Okay, so it's a bit of rattling grime on the teeth to dull the white. Yes.
Probably correct there, Metro.
Oh, rattling grime's got a bit of it's like a greyish brown. I'm not sure. Well, Larry, I think that you're doing a good job. It's a great work in progress. You're getting there, mate. That's the main thing.
Plus, also, diminishing returns is a thing, and I think maybe from afar it might not look so bad. Like it might read as the crenellated pattern. And yes.
All right, next up. Ha. Somebody I get to abuse for once. All right, come on.
Yeah.
All right.
But more like Whip Wednesday, hashtag Whip Wednesday, but more like completed Wednesday. Well, I lie. There are 2 models where the basing is incomplete, but other than that, everyone, Team Darude Sandstorm, is ready for action. Character names and roles and captions. Who is this very handsome fella?
So, there's something that I'll point out because somebody else didn't point it out. See, there was somebody who was helping with the basing and did all of the basing bits.
Well, yeah, you helped me do the motorcycle zen bits.
Yes, but then you absolutely covered it. In the shrubbery, so it was quite difficult to actually put all of the sand on.
I quite like the shrubbery.
Yes, but there's too much of it. And we're going to have to work on doing a bit more of that. So some of the basing needs to be done. So that's the first thing that I noticed. This guy...
Even though I pointed it out in the caption.
Yes, that's the first thing I noticed.
Oh, I see. Okay.
All right. All right, let's see what the commenters have to say.
Nothing.
No,
No
nothing.
one has anything to say.
Oh, okay. I see.
They all agree.
They all agree. All right. I actually really like this guy's outfit. It's just so over the top, and it's just he's just a guy with a gun.
Pants, yeah.
Oh, I like that he's like got all of this stuff, like the padding and all of that sort of stuff, and he's just like yes.
I don't know why I decided to use that. I think it was the head that made me feel like I should go for something a bit more fancy.
And yes, I love how with some of these other things you've just gone like so over the top with the clothing.
Thank you. Metro said
cowl. Yep.
No, you go ahead.
No, you say it.
The cowl on his back is gorgeous. Proper padded leather look. I suppose it does. I just put a bit of, I think that must be voluptuous pink or something.
Voluptuous pink is one of the best of the contrast paints.
I thought you liked the magenta one. Do magenta?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. But I tell you what, you've done really well with the gold on here because usually you get my help to do gold, but this you did yourself, and I think it looked quite nice. The
Thanks.
True metallic metal, the way that you did it.
I do struggle with true metallic metal.
I don't think it quite looks as good because there's not the peaks, but I think that you did really well with the valleys, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that looks good. And here's Mr. Artichoke, and his skull was not fixed up. A little skull on the bottom. See, it's still got that little bare patch there.
No one can tell until you said something.
Oh, I see. See, it's not like we do this for other people. And I think just once again, just more of the basing needs to just have some little fixes like in here and along there. But I think the Mr. Artichoke is already looking pretty dang snazzy. I like this guy. This guy is one of my favorites.
Is it because of the blue and the
pink?
Flesh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I quite liked when I got to experiment with that a bit.
Yeah, I think he looks quite good. And once again, another little bit of skull.
Metro says, hashtag burrs are details too.
But yeah, I really liked helping out with some of the basing bits. And like things like this, he just looks like a standard dude until you get to the head and that sort of stuff. And I think he looks so good the way that he's done up.
I really did enjoy using the, the the brown xenothol for this because majority of it is just the prime that's left.
you left the prime with the pants and the shirt.
Yeah, and I just did like the color with contrast with the rest of it. It's pretty much at the end I just decided I wouldn't do my usual base paint and layering and just went full contrast. And I think it turned out pretty good.
I do think you did some more highlights in some of the areas.
I actually did not.
No, really, look, take a look. I'm pretty sure those are painted highlights.
Really, I didn't do anything.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
interesting. Is it contrast or is it?
No, that's just pure prime. Yeah.
Okay.
Some of them I did. Some of them I did do a bit of extra highlight. I think with the runner girl, you might see that. I didn't do any with her either.
I think that the skins came out very well.
Yeah, really proud of the skin, the way it turned out.
I do think we're going to have to touch up this satellite because it's like it got a skin with the rust.
Yeah.
But yeah. This guy is sort of my favorite. You want to know?
Brown.
You want to know why?
Why?
Because his face is just like, I am so done with life.
He does look that way, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's got like some nice chubby cheeks and that sort of thing, right? But it looks as if he's just like he could have been in like, for example, Lock, Stock and Two Smoking. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, I don't want to hear it. Just get me them guns.
Yes. All right. But yeah, so I think he looks very good. But there's also some subtle details that you put on, like some of the scarring around his hands and stuff.
Yeah, it was a bit of a unexpected turn of events because I noticed the hand didn't get painted and I had some of that sort of bright reddish pink and I just put it on and it's like, hey, it just looks like more saturated flesh tone, and I thought it did fit because he is a veteran, so he probably has some scarring.
Yeah, like I thought it was more like burns and stuff.
It did look like that.
But yeah, I also like this guy. He's probably just like the most duder guy of all of them.
He does look the most duder.
I do think that this wrapping right here, instead of being black, I think it would have been better if that was khaki.
Yeah, I just didn't really understand what it was meant to be.
It's a wrap around that to try and like sort of essentially
sort of
no it's to break the shape of it. And also I think you could have done blue in the scopes.
Oh yeah,
I think that would have really helped it. But I absolutely love the little Votan helmet in his base. I think that looks great. You know, it just fits. This lady is just a mess.
Why? Oh, because of the big motorbike at the back.
No. Just like with the legs and the eye and everything, she just looks so different to everyone else.
Yeah, I guess because she is a does. Oh, there he is.
The mantis.
Kung Fu Mantis.
Is this me or Connor?
This is Connor.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
He asked me to take a picture of Kung Fu Mantis.
Okay, alright. So I think we're done here and we should move on to the next person. And I should stop giving Sunny hassles. Or should I? Vsauce here.
Oh my god. But Cien is now here. So, wow, Wednesday came around so fast. So to give context before I explain this unit, in the MechWarrior universe, clan squads are called points, and unit is made of 5 points or a star going from a single to binary, then trinary. This is my first 2 point of warriors to my clan Wolf Beta Galaxy. Just waiting on small elements to dry, and in the meantime, working on my next 2 points. I class them as 2 points for a 10-man because I plan to run Sagittarius that cause a 5-man split.
Well, I think that they look really good. In fact, I think this is some of Cian's best work. I do think that the white is quite dirty, but I do think that that's deliberate. But I do think the one biggest thing that he could do for these guys to really make this all sort of fit together is by giving them a dust coating on the bottom of their feet to their knee pads.
Yeah.
And then just using some blue tack to get it off.
Out.
Yeah, like Brushstrokes does. And I think that would just push these so far. And the reason I say that, right, is because with this dirty white, if you see that dust there, people will be like, "Oh, I get it."
Well, Metro says looks like meant to be tan, not white. Probably went a bit heavy on dry brush.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure on that one. I think it's like meant to be some sort of dirty white. I'm not sure what kind of dirty white, but I think that they're looking quite nice. All right. But yeah, like
all the camera flash.
Yeah. Yeah, you might be very much right on that.
Perhaps a picture without flash might help.
Yeah. So, but take a look at, for example, this plasma weapon here, right? And the sword there, right? So neat and tidy.
Yeah.
And look at this. Do you notice that?
What is that? Is that a hazard stripe?
It's hazard striping on the cabling.
Nice.
And look, I think that old Cyan would have been like, I can never do this. I'll never be able to do this. But I think, you know, Cyan with some practice has really pushed things. And I think it's looking fantastic.
And it's nice because you can see those little details and you can see that he's gotten a bit more confidence in his painting and his skills. And he's just like, I could push, I could do this, I could do that.
It genuinely makes me happy.
Yeah.
Because when I look at all of this, I just think to myself, you know, all right, things are, you know.
Things are going up.
Yeah.
It's turning up Millhouse, as they say, right?
Yes.
All right. Is that the wrong?
Can you read out the next one, please?
Anyhow, James got a bit of highlights done. I am not good at knowing what needs to be highlighted, but sometimes I have my moments.
To be honest, compared to the last one, I don't see where the highlights have come in.
Yeah, I would have to agree. But I think he might have done that on the money. I don't know. It feels like the money feels a bit more defined.
Yeah, you know what? He might have done a bit of edge highlighting with the money. You might be right on that. I think you are right on that.
Metro has something to say. Thanks, overview shows the armor better because the flash didn't saturate it.
Yeah. So with all of this, I think he looks very much the same as he did before, which is good. You know, I don't think it's bad, but I think the highlighting wasn't quite so.
James is on.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So he did the money, heads, sword, and leg.
Okay.
The money I can tell. I guess I could see a bit of highlighting here with the top of the shin guard, I guess.
Maybe, but
it feels like I think I saw that in your previous picture.
I don't think it's impactful enough. And like, sorry to say that, my dude, but like, yeah, it's just the way it is. All right, let's move up to the next one.
Oh yes, and James has his full box set now come up. With Deadpool done, I have finished all the zombie miniatures and superhero miniatures from Marvel Zombies core box. Another milestone completed. Yeah, it looks so good once you see it in the box.
Well, I think this is what we should celebrate, guys. Like, honestly, I'm not even kidding. Like, this right here is worth celebrating. I'll tell you why, right? When it comes to so many projects, right, we have these big ambitions, right? But how often do you actually get to see those projects finished? And when it comes to something like this, it's just I'm not quite sure how to word it exactly. But it's like seeing a completed house.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you've seen it.
You saw it in the different stages of construction. And you're like, oh, they're building a house over there. And then once it's finished, and you're like, wow.
Yeah, exactly. And I think this is worth celebrating. And the reason is all the people who fall by the wayside along this road. So think about how many projects we have seen, right? And think about the projects that we have done ourselves, which have fallen by the wayside.
Yeah.
So many things never reach this stage.
Yeah, the full completion.
Yeah. And, like, it doesn't matter if it's to the 100% best ability, but being able to open up a box and say, all of this is done. I did all of this.
Yeah.
That is an achievement. All right. I think we should move on. Next up, we have...
Ooh, more from Joseph.
Yes.
Last but one catch-up gallery from my Big Kingdom Death project. Sunny, much like during last week's show, there's more than one model in this gallery. Even if FB tells you otherwise, you skipped all my work last week and I was the sad panda. I'm so sorry, Joseph. Yes, okay. Well, we shall take a look at the further pictures this time around.
Yes, we shall. Alright, so I'm just slowly going through them so that I can actually see everything that was done, and then we'll comment on each. Okay, so with this lady, she's got like a lot of black on her, and it seems that it's meant to sort of be black steel. So this is apparently the Cockroach Queen.
Oh. I can see that he's put a bit of like greens in her, like with the sash here.
Yeah. But I do see some of those cockroaches on the miniature, but she herself is very black. I do once again always love the OSL from the Lance.
Yeah.
I think they look good. But I do think that this lamp with the sort of black holes in it is quite a bit odd.
Yeah.
And I do think that the face was a bit...
Yeah, I guess so, but when you look at it from this distance, I feel like it's good because there's so much of her that's covered with her hair. So with that eye that's nice and large, it sort of brings attention to the face.
Yeah, I just think that maybe he needs to use a darker colour for his whites.
Maybe,
like, maybe
it is a bright white, I suppose, yeah.
Yeah, he apparently is using bones or something, but it still looks quite bright. I think maybe even go to a Xandri if it's still looking this bright. And so he was sort of using...
Hella from the... Yeah, I actually...
As inspiration.
I think I got that image in my mind, like, when I saw this color combination. I was like, it reminds me of that one character. Yeah.
Raven said thank you for the little diatribe that I went off on. And, like, yeah, you did quite an achievement, but I think it's also aspirational for other people to see that and to go towards that, because, like, the thing is, you said, I'm going to do this, I'm going to go for it, you went for it, and you got there. Alright, so next up we've got the Ranger from the Echoes of Death 2. I think once again the
eyes,
face, but once again, once we move away from the face, I think the hair's done quite nicely. I think the bow's quite interesting. I do, however, think that on the legs here, there's a bit of spill. Can you see that?
Yeah.
But I really, really always love how the lamps have turned out. And see how she's got this sort of whitish tan skirt.
Yep.
And it's just sort of flavoured it orange. And I think that looks really good. But yeah, when I look at her, I'm just like, yes. Like, everything looks good until you come to the front face.
Yeah, and it's always the case with Joseph. It's like everything looks so on point, and then the eyes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
And I think we've got that again with this lady here, where she's like, yeah!
Well, okay, this one I have to disagree, because I feel like it gives that sort of like, I'm staring you down.
I guess it's just that I think that they're a bit big, is the thing.
Yeah.
Like, once we're on the side, they look really good once again.
I can understand he might be still trying to sort of make it look a bit anime with that.
Yeah, I get that. But I think that he's done really well with this sort of steel trim around the blacker parts. I think that looks really good. I think also the highlighting of the red looks really nice.
Mm-hmm.
And I really love this shield.
Oh, yeah.
It's just come up so well.
Nice. I love the highlighting on all the bone highest points. And then you've got that nice leather or brown. I don't know what he used for that, but it just sort of complements everything very nicely.
And this is her sort of picture here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say he's sort of nailed it with the reference.
Well, I think this lady looks really nice. I think, once again, my dude, it's the faces. It's just the faces. Everything else is looking good. Like, the way that he's done the skin on the thigh here, right, I think looks really good. The way that he's done the shadowing and the highlighting. I think it's subtle but good. And also the OSL from this fire effect is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. Like, I think this is truly the highlight. And I don't know what this little hat thing is.
Could be a bun.
No, it's like some sort of object. Yeah, it looks
like
to
a
be
wreath sort of thing.
I'm not sure. It seems to be a collection of maybe like snail shells or something.
Are you sure snail shells?
They look like it.
They kind of look like shells, I guess.
But yes, so next up we have... Okay, so with this one, I thought that the cloak was a bit left behind. So once again, the lantern really well done. I'd say that the face is good because it's mostly hidden, right? And so he gets to get all of his core parts in quite nicely. I just feel like this red cloak could have been pushed so much more. It just feels so desaturated when you take a look at what he's going for.
But I do think that with the way that this cape is sculpted, it's very easy to go like...
Saying it?
Yeah, and just mess up everything because like the highlights might go a bit crazy. And I think for this, it's good.
So take a look. This is the sort of inspiration.
Yeah, so that's not very overly highlighted or anything. It's quite...
I don't know. Maybe it's just the sculpt itself. But yeah, I just sort of felt as if it could have been pushed a bit more. All right, so we're down to our final post. But we will reload. Oh, and it was interesting seeing this.
Yeah, it was.
So
someone came on and...
They're like, I didn't quite understand what you're getting at. And you explained it for us, which was really great. So do you just want to go a bit into your explanation to sort of...
Yeah, so I'm just trying to say that video was about how you do volumetric highlighting and how... too much contrast between your shadow, midtone, and highlight color can give different impressions between the material that you're going for and also how the color reads. So he's wondering if it has anything to... Are you trying to teach us about layering and blending? And it's not so much on the layering and blending, but
it's so more the theory behind it.
Yeah, it's more like what are the colors that you are selecting to make sure it reads the way that you want it to look. So if you're going for black metal, like I have shown in the video example here, you want the mid-tone shadow and highlight colors to be very close to one another. And if you, let's say, did it on the other side where you have black, but your gray is such a bright gray and for a mid-tone, and then a super pale gray for the highlight, that makes the overall metal look like a gray metal rather than a black metal. And once you blur it out, depending on how much you blend, as shown in the blurring, it can look more shiny or it can look more matte. And that's where sort of the layering and blending comes into play, I think.
Yeah.
How you manipulate the texture of the material you're going for comes with the blending part. But yeah, so I do hope that helps Amir understand what we're going for.
Yeah, for sure. All right, and now for Mimo.
Oh, I like this. Mimo haven't been here in such a long time. We haven't seen Mimo in
We scared him away.
Did we?
I don't know how, but we did.
Oh. Okay, I'm sorry, Mimo.
See, it's all her fault. She admits it.
Okay, anyway, I know it's whip, but very happy with the idea for the kill team terrain the boy and I made. Slum terrain for my Arbites to fight, and I like the little murder scene thing there. That's my favorite.
I think it's actually done with real tape. I'm not sure.
I think he might have just done it with like a piece of tracing paper, cut it out, paint the outlines, and stick it on there.
Oh, maybe. I'm not sure. But yeah, like, because like there's that there. But I also love, take a look at the caution tape.
Yeah, it's
got the Imperial Eagles on it.
Oh, wow. He actually went really above and beyond.
Yeah, no, well, I think it's just little details like this that really push things. Like, once you do little details like this, it can be like, oh, look at that. Yes.
It really adds to the storytelling.
Yeah,
that's what terrain sometimes is all about, is it adds to the story and the mood that you're going for. And, you know, in our latest videos about detail creep and such.
Well, I think that's not our latest. That's our second to latest video, our penultimate currently.
Well, with the shorts that we've been making.
Oh, yes, we did 2 shorts on detail creep
and I feel like this terrain is sort of sculpted in a simplistic way, which gives Mimo the sort of motivation to try doing something a bit more. Because it gives you the freedom to go any which way you like, super simple or more extravagant.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's definitely gone for a bit more extravagant route with all these little litterings here and there, blood spattering, the murder cutout. I forget what it's called, this thing the forensics do to trace the body.
I don't know if that's got a special name or not, but I think that's it for us. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us for our birthday. I'm sorry I haven't been on as much this week. I've just been not 100%. I'm sorry about that, but unfortunately, you know, just having a few issues in a row just makes it so that that some of the times you need space to breathe. And like, we really go 110 miles per hour when it comes to this stuff. Like, one day, how many recordings did we get in? Like 8 or 9?
Yeah.
And trying to get everything done, script writing, plus my actual job, you know, of doing the commissions and stuff. It can get a bit much when pushed to the limit, and I think it's taken a bit of a toll, so I just need to step back for just a little bit this week. So I hope you can forgive me for that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. And of course, as always, keep those brushes wet.